Now, let's get to a bit of news coming from a company called HaemaLogiX. It's an Aussie biotech that's developing immunotherapies for blood cancer patients, and it's made an appointment. Former Health Minister Greg Hunt has joined its board as non-executive director. So let's get the story. HaemaLogiX CEO Damian Clarke-Bruce is joining me now. Hi, Damian. Welcome to ausbiz. Thank you so much for joining us. Maybe just because there's a lot of excitement around this appointment, you could just take a step back and tell us exactly what HaemaLogiX is doing.
Excellent. Thank you for the time. HaemaLogiX is a global biotech company. We're pioneering and developing therapeutics for blood cancers, B-cell disorders, and also autoimmune disease. The company is a public, though unlisted company, and we've been going since about 2014. We're supported globally by a significantly impressive scientific advisory board in the US and here locally in Australia. We collaborate here with the Peter Mac Institute for Cancer with Professor Simon Harrison, and also the Alfred with Professor Andrew Spencer. The teams have been working closely over the last number of years, and we've actually got a published phase 2 trial in multiple myeloma, an area that we're absolutely passionate about, that over 20,000 Australians have in terms of the rare disease of multiple myeloma, and nearly 2,600 patients a year are developing that rare disease. We're also focusing on other areas like amyloidosis, which is another rare disease with about 10 people in about 1 million being diagnosed with that disease, but with only a survival rate of about 43%. So there's a number of key programs that we've got moving through. We've got a significant CAR-T program, which is a unique cell therapy program that, as I suggested, working with Peter Mac. We're in manufacturing stage at the moment and hope to have first patients into our studies early next year. And then aligned with that is our Capimab program, where we target these two unique novel antigens that are only found on cancer cells with our monoclonal antibody. And this is the first in the world clinical trial that will be actually targeting these two unique antigens. What's unique about this is that we actually don't impact normal cells. So not only will we be delivering a safety opportunity here, well, I should say, not only will we be delivering efficacy here, but potentially a safer therapeutic.
Amazing. And I admire all of the work that, companies the likes of HaemaLogiX does. Can I be nosy though? How are you funded?
How are we funded? We're privately funded. We're actually right in the middle of a capital raise at the moment. A number of institutions that we're working with. At the moment, we're very much Sydney and Australian based, but stepping globally, and we'll be stepping more presence into the US over the next 6 to 12 months.
Fascinating. So how does the former health minister, Professor Greg Hunt, improve the prospects for HaemaLogiX?
Well, he shares a real passion and purpose, and that is to be able to bring unique novel therapeutics to patients. And I think in his role as health minister, he's had the opportunity over the years to be able to approve many novel therapies that has really changed the lives of patients in Australia and globally. Greg had the opportunity to review our team, our program. He loved the science. He saw the robustness and the rigor of the science that our team have put together. He appreciated the experience both globally and locally and the collaborations that we have with Peter Mac and the Alfred. And he thought, you know what, this is an opportunity to get grassroots into Australian biotech and help us actually evolve and make a significant story of this great science developed in Australia for Australians, but then to take it globally. So he brings advocacy, he brings networking, he brings leadership across many segments, obviously within the health segments, but then across significant regional exposure as well, US, Europe, and Asia.
You've talked about this evolving presence in the United States. So how is that evolving, and what is the end goal, I suppose, in taking this technology, which essentially what biotechs are, to the United States?
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, and to be, truly honest, we have a great foundation here in Australia, and we've already run our phase 1 and phase 2 trials here in Australia, and we've got a great phase 1 that we're working with Peter Mac here in Melbourne. This will all originate out of Australia and is well funded and supported by Australian investors and also the Australian government in our collaboration with Peter Mac. But the next step is to take it global. So to do a US IND, and then we'll take our phase 2 trial that we'll have up and running here, our Kappa program, our Kappa-Mab program, and then we'll take that to the US and take that to institutions globally. We work with Dana-Farber in the US, the Mayo Clinic in the US, and that's the next step to be able to advance these products to commercialization.
Yeah, and I know that it's a long process for all biotechs. You've got phases, you've got approvals. It is a long road, but in a perfect world, Damian, when are we talking about commercialization potentially for these therapies, if indeed the testing, all goes well and everything comes to fruition?
Absolutely. Well, we're in the process of actually talking with a number of global pharmaceutical companies, some local, many based in the US and a few in Europe. And if we align on our commercialization process, we would be able to bring these products to market, late 28, 29, 30, which the timing for this works in well for the patients that are already on our studies. We actually, from our phase 2, there are still 2 patients with multiple myeloma on our therapies. And doing extremely well. So we're crazily excited that this really could change the course of disease in multiple myeloma, in amyloidosis, and we've got some explorations already in autoimmune as well. These unique antigens are identified in other areas of disease like SLE and also rheumatoid arthritis.
Well, look, interesting to know you're raising capital. HaemaLogiX CEO Damian Clarke-Bruce, thank you so much for joining us today to explain.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for your time.